So in this segment, we're going to discuss where our teachers, counselors, administrators, just anyone who's interested in our CS initiative can find more information. And please feel free to interject your personal ideas of where to find quality information that is actually useful to the classroom. I hope our information that we're providing at a state level is useful, but you are the ones that are utilizing it on a daily basis, so feel free to interject. You know, obviously, being the Department of Education, our predominant source of data is going to come through our website. Most people are familiar with our website. I jokingly say we have the easiest to navigate site in the world. I love our site, but it does have its constraints. I'll say it that way. I will say to get to the computer science pages, the easiest way to do it when you bring up the Arkansas Ed website is there's an alphabetical listing there. Mm-hmm. Click on the C. Scroll down to computer science and click on it, and it will take you directly to what we call our landing page, which looks similar to this. On that page, I think two of the most useful things beyond the fact sheet, and we'll come back to that, two of the most useful things are the prominent links that are toward the middle to bottom section of the page, and those are links that are computer icons currently that link to our standards and courses that are adopted by SB, the State Board of Education, and Arkansas Career Education, and a link to resources. Now, something that we did, and Dr. Gocher, I remember whenever I came to you and told you I was going to do this, you kind of lifted your eyebrows at me and said, well, if we have problems with it, I guess we'll have to deal with it later, but I'm coming back after you, Anthony, on it. But one thing we do on this resources page, which is unique on the ADE website, is we link to all products that we think are valuable. Some cost money, some are vendor products, that's right, but they are things that our schools, our teachers have given feedback to me that they find valuable within their classroom. We as an agency are not telling schools that they have to buy them, but I also don't think that we need to hide them just because they may cost money. So if our participants have resources that they've found that are valuable, I hope they'll provide that feedback to my office. We'll look over them, and we typically have a very open process to adding those things to our resources page, especially if it's an Arkansas educator that is advocating for them. We have mentioned multiple times the fact sheet, and I'll stop after I mention this just briefly. I can't say this enough, and Greg, you alluded to this earlier. Do not print that fact sheet. I know as educators we love paper. Okay, I think educators should get stock in Georgia Pacific because we use a lot of paper. But I don't want you to print this. I want you to bookmark it. I have one particular CS specialist that gets a notification every time I change something on it. He's written a script for that. So I'll see him pop up every time I get on there and change something. But that is our fact sheet, our CS fact sheet. It's accessible on that landing page. It's linked to on every page. Like I said, if I'm responding to an email, over 90% of the time I'm just cutting and pasting information out of that. And you know, I know y'all have already talked about it, but I really hope and would like to hear if there are things that we need to change on that fact sheet, or if it's still a relevant amount of information for y'all. I know it's gotten a little bit longer over time, but as we continue in this initiative, I just want to have one place that has the majority of our policy issues that schools face on a daily basis. So any feedback on it, any suggestions? Is it still useful out in the field?
I just can't remember if the last time I looked at it, but when you mentioned with the link that it gets as you continue to add, I'm thinking it probably won't be too long if you haven't already. We're going to have like a bookmarked table of contents toward the beginning so you can skip right to those sections that you, because it contains such a valuable amount of information now that's growing all the time.
It has all the course codes, you know, for the lower level and upper level, and the information about the flex credit is very clear on that page. It has all the pertinent information about that.
And you're adding the information about all of those incentive programs for teachers and teacher leaders. So I know that was very valuable to me when I was going through that professional development and, you know, getting my praxis reimbursed after passing that score, and getting the stipend back for attending that professional development. So all those details were there. It was very helpful.
a link to our professional development offerings, and that's something we'll talk about here in a second. But that's something else we do in CS that's kind of unique. I don't know of any other content area that's doing this, but my CS specialists, as they schedule professional development in the co-ops or in different areas, we have a running page of just CS professional development that is across the state and links to registration dates, things of that nature. So it's a one-stop shop for people looking for CS professional development, whether it be at the K-8 level or the high school level. And I've mentioned him a couple times, and obviously we wouldn't be here without the legislation, the bipartisan legislation that supported this initiative from the start, but also Governor Hutchinson just continues to make this a key focus of his administration. He is, continuing his computer science tour stops. He's visited over 60 schools and had assemblies specific to encouraging students to take computer science courses. And this is he also provides support materials that our schools can use. So even if he has not made it out to your school for a tour stop, he provides the videos that he plays to the students. He provides tour stop videos where it's been recorded, and those are things that schools can use within their own environment. If he hasn't made it out to your school yet, we're always looking for new schools to go visit or additional schools to go visit, and we'll take those suggestions and invitations under consideration. I'll just simply say it that way. So they're welcome.